Hi everyone. So good evening and good morning to all of you. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, if you guys have any queries, any questions, you please uh, ask Prakash. He can clarify maybe from sessions. Prakash can start. So almost everyone is there. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ankit. Okay, so before starting from the today's, if you have any doubt, you can go ahead.
Prakash, with current BTP, can
Yeah,
we can we connect SAC or we need cloud connector?
you want to connect SAC with BTP.
Yeah.
Purpose behind it?
The reason is now SAC is now integrated with IAS in my current landscape,
Hmm.
and only C4C is integrated with BTP. That's why I'm checking why that is not being done or any feasibility is not happening.
See, means we need to understand that you can say that SAC anyhow is running on BTP. That we have explained, right? So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so if you want to utilize that and integrate any other applications, you can surely do it, and even you can means integrate it with the SAP BTP. Okay, if you
Okay.
want, but we need to understand the purpose of you can say integrating,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because SAP Analytics Cloud is being used for the analytical purpose, means you are analyzing the data. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to
Dashboards are there.
exactly, so if you
Mm.
want to analyze the data from the SAP BTP, right? So then you can connect with BTP and take the data from the SAP BTP and you can analyze those data. But if it is required, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't feel any use case. But yeah, if you can explain me little means your requirement, then I can explain more on that side. But
Mm-hmm.
as of now, because SAP BTP is just your platform, right? And yeah, anything can be analytics can be utilized any places, means how many users are logging in with BTP, how many means if you want to utilize, you can do it. That's not a problem. So anyhow, it is an extension, right? Means SAC is developed on SAP BTP, so it's will not be a problem.
Okay. So it can be connected.
And I would like to add here. So normally as IEG we subscribe within BTP. Similarly, we can subscribe SAC also within BTP. So sometimes, so let's say we are going for a SAC tenant. When we
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and ask for SAC tenant, then
Yeah.
they give a SAC as an application within BTP, and we can add they will assign the quotas, how many will request. And then that code we can just add in any of sub account, and then we can launch that SAC service, and then all the functionalities of SAP within BTP will get it. And then other
Mm-hmm.
systems, anyway, we know how to integrate with SAC. So
Yeah.
this is, and again, I what I have experienced as a arranging when I do arrange labs and all. So either directly we can purchase SAC tenant, or within BTP also they provide SAC tenant.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. or any other doubt from the previous sessions? Okay, if not, then I will start with the today's session. I will start sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So as was told, today our focus area is for SAP Identity Authentication Service. Okay, and limitation here like that we are not going to study, or we are not going to go through totally deep dive on SAP Identity Authentication Service, but whatever the use of IAG use case, little bit even broader side, we are trying to use, so that if you are working with SAP IAG, there should not be any problem even in future that how IS can be utilized in case of IAG. So since it is IAG training, so everything is in and around IS, right? So why we are using IS in, and what are the use cases in the used via IS in IAG? So that is a purpose here. Okay, so why again means I will try to explain it. So I will again, it is a topic that I have not you can say completed in a study session, and it is purposefully I have not completed because I wanted to took that part in IS side. Okay, and then next is means just I want to explain identity provider, what is identity provider, and then I will give the introduction about the IS, and then user and group management in IS. Trust, how can you can create trust between IS and IAG, or you can say BTP. Then we will show how we can set up a certain attributes and what are the certain attributes, or some additional configurations, or if you are setting up the applications, then syncing user groups from the IS, and then mapping role collections in BTP. So these are the topics for the today. And last and not you can say most important, that whatever we have done, so everything should be tested and validated, right, using that different scenarios. You may have some doubt, but now I'm trying to explain that. Okay, you have a BTP account, you have a global account, you have a sub account. Till here you understand everything very means better. If you have gone through the study sessions, so you understand this is the global structure. You have a global account, under that you have the sub account, then how it is being managed. Okay, so remaining things, how authorization is being managed. We have told that, okay, means it is authorization is coming in, it means we are managing authorization in different way, platform rules are different, business rules are different, how it is being managed. Okay, so they are having a service, and you can say service instance that is called XUA, right? And that is a, you can say, extended user authorization and authentication service. So that is a, you can say, service inside of SAP BTP that is handling all of your authorization flows, how authorizations come, how authentications happen, not only authorization, authentication, both things is being handled via this XSUA tenant that is happening. That is a, you can say, a cloud foundry. It is a cloud foundry. If you have go to the cloud foundry, standard cloud foundry applications, cloud foundry, you know that cloud foundry is a open source platform, and that is a open source cloud platform, and it is not SAP proprietary. SAP using that open source platform little bit, you can say, making some enhancement and some changes, so that that is so same way like UA is coming from the cloud foundry, and SAP using little after enhancing that, that is called extended XSUA, nothing but. So XSUA is nothing but the real tenant, real instance who is managing your authorization and authentication. Till now you have heard that and you have seen that trust. So trust is coming from the SAP ID service, right? So by default, what is happening once you are requesting the SAP for any, either even a trial account, So your mail ID is being created as a SAP ID service. I think all of you have created, right? And then only when you can utilize the SAP trial account. So that is a B. So whenever you are trying to log in into your SAP BTP accounts, it's trying to check that SAP ID service, that your account is available in SAP ID service or not. If your account is available in SAP ID service, then it is checking your user ID and password, and then also it's checking that what access is given to you, like global admin or whatever the access is given to you. So that is a purpose, right? Now, coming to that, surely it will be saying that SAP user, what it means. Like when we are saying that SAP user, so SAP have different type of user. It can be S user, it can be a P user. S user normally it means if you have the corporate account, account is being created, so you have the S user. But in other cases, you means if you don't have the S user and you are creating directly you can say access in BTP, so that will be generated as a P user, right? So that both are told as a, means you can say P user is nothing but your platform user, right? So that is a thing. So that's why it is saying. So SAP decide that S user, P user, these are the type of user by SAP. Means these users are being maintained in SAP database or SAP directory, right? So that's why we are saying it SAP. Now assume that why everyone should go to the SAP. Why we should create everyone. Assume that today we are providing training to all of you. So right now we have created all the means user ID in our you can say BTP account. So that BTP account will be means created into you can say this SAP ID service by default. But means you can say it is created in BTP as of now. But if you will go to login into, right, BTP, so you need to create your account, or you can say universal ID in SAP ID service. Once you will create your account in SAP ID service, then only you can log in into you can say your this BTP cockpit. I think most of you have already gone through this practice, right? And so whoever already created in past, sometimes no need to create again. So means once in a while you have to create your account, either personal or whatever the thing, corporate account. So you have to create one time account in SAP ID service. After that you can utilize all the SAP service using that SAP ID, that is SAP Universal ID. I'm saying all the service means it depends on the type of user and your authorizations again, right? But yeah, means that is a global ID. If you want any access, added access in future, you can get on that. So that is one thing. But if you're coming to any real time environment, it's not possible or it's not feasible to that every user. Assume that our company have 1 lakh user. Why should we create every 1 lakh user on SAP database? And why should we create 1 lakh user on means maintain our database in SAP side, right? It is our personal thing. So we are not going to maintain. So these are only for the platform users. Remaining, so we are doing that. So we are maintaining. Every organizations are maintaining their own corporate uh, identity provider, right? We will discuss what is identity provider in very detail, but as of now just try to understand. Means every organizations maintain their own database for the user, right? So that database can be anything. I don't know which database, but yeah, it can be Active Directory, it can be Azure Active Directory, it can be some others identity provider, right? So each and every organization, even may be possible that they are using SAP identity management or some other tools. So right, so but yeah, each and every organizations must maintaining user database in their on premise or somewhere else, right? So that is a mandate type of thing. So why we should go and we should means how we can utilize those things, right? So how we can utilize those identity provider or user database to access into I do not want to means create those user again in SAP ID service, and that is the purpose. Means we are creating a you can say another trust with our this XSUA tenant, and we are utilizing IS as a proxy. Okay, and then corporate identity provider, any corporate means it can be anything where you are storing your data, right? From there it is serving as a identity provider, and it you are getting validated. So means you have no need to create user ID as a SAP ID service, and you can still log in the into your applications, right? So normally business users not means doesn't require to go to the, you can say, go to and create the S user ID or P user ID in SAP websites or SAP database. These things just trying to explain the same things, right? What XSUA. So XS again, XSUA service does not store user data or user records since it needs a trusted connection. Means if you can see, so this is validating, but SAP BTP nowhere stores your data. Means they are not storing in any of your data, user master data, right? Or user data identity in their system. So if someone is trying to log in BTP or any sub account, they must have been authenticated from somewhere else, right? And that is the reason it needs a trusted. You may ask sometimes why it is not. Means because we can go and create. I will explain those things also like that. But yeah, they are not storing any data directly into their database, right? So it must get authenticated. Even though you are creating that some user ID, so it's not getting a stored. It's just creating a user, and once you are trying to log in into that database, it will authenticate from somewhere else, right? So it's not directly authentication. So authentication is always being done by some identity provider, not directly in your XSUA tenant and in a very layman term SAP BTP account. Again, XSUA service acts as the central infrastructure component of the Cloud Foundry environment at SAP BTP for business user authentication and authorizations. This I have already explained. Okay. Few points I have tried to collect because these are the really important points, right? I have a few things I have already explained. In Cloud Foundry project, there is an open source component called UAA. UAA is an OAuth provider which takes care of authentication and authorization. SAP took the base of UAA and extended it with SAP specific feature to use in SAP BTP. That's I have already explained it. XUAA service is an internal UAA, so it is a open source component, but if you say XSUAA, it is an internal development from SAP and it is dedicated to SAP BTP. Connection between, so what XSUAA provides, so it provides the connection between apps and the identity providers. Means you are having some applications running on BTP and how those applications get authenticated, right? So means it is a providing connection between apps and identity provider and ensure the security and grant access through the rules. So what rules are coming, so these things are, you can say, internal security management for BTP, and that is, but it is not directly managing anything inside. So it is having a connection between applications and the identity provider. Identity provider is doing the job for authentication and authorization, and apps is doing their functional jobs, right? And it is authenticated via XSUAA. These things repeated. A service does not store user data or records, hence it needs a trusted connection to identity provider. When a business application consists of several different applications, microservices, the application router is used to provide a single entry point for the business application. This is a one high level concept if you are using that. Like that, if you are using some business application and that business application is having the multiple microservices within that, so that application is using one, you can say, router. So application router is used to provide a single, so that router is what it is doing. Once you are going to the based on the router, it will differentiate and it will, you can say, send the message to the specific applications. Last
Prakash,
point
these
is
routes will be developed by those application developers, right?
no app. Yeah,
So,
app router you have to write it. Means that code you need
yes.
to write. Like you have to provide. Means so that is a template is already provided by SAP how you have to write. But yeah, you have to write your, because for every microservices you have to means so create a so app router will be one, but for different applications you have to you can say add in your code, right? Template. So that is a now coming to the one important thing, like that whenever you are always thinking, that means I have discussed that BTP doesn't store anything. Then what you are looking into, if you are finding some user IDs there, right? User ID is created in SAP BTP sub account users are there. So what those users are? So that is nothing but SAP BTP creates a copy of the user in global account or in sub account when a user related actions happens. Means if you are trying to log in into that, so a copy is being created, right? Because that copy is coming from the some identity provider. So this copy of user is created a shadow user. So whatever the user you are trying to find in your database, that is nothing but a shadow user. You assign the shadow user authorization to access resources in BTP. When a user authenticates, SAP BTP forward the request to the author. Even though it is a shadow user, you can assign access to that shadow user also directly into BTP to provide access to any applications or even in the, you can say, for the platform related things, right? So that is, so it is creating a copy of users, or you can say shadow users. In details, surely we will look into that later. We are always discussing what is means you can say identity provider, right? That is really one of the important topic, and you all knows almost, if not very clear, then even though you may have some how idea about the identity provider. So assume that you have some identity, right? So first I will just try to explain what is identity. So when we are saying that identity, so identity is normally coming from the three type of things. You can say that knowledge or something you know, such as you are having user ID and password, right? Simple state. So you know, right? Something you know, you have the knowledge, that's the thing. Position, sometimes like you are having the smartphone, you are having that some RSA token type of things, right? Some token generating things. So those type of things, right? So even a smartphone is also generating the tokens, right? So these type of things. And then some qualities, right? Means that is your physical things, like somewhere it is a scan by you are going and you proving your fingerprints, or somewhere retina is getting a scan, right? So that is your intrinsic quality. Only it can be matched with your thing, right? So that is a physical thing. So these things are normally part of your identity, right? So it is, you can say that these are part of identity. But are we thinking about only user identity? No. When we are saying that we are discussing about identity, so now our area is broadened. So we are not having only that user identity. Surely this means points have been taken consideration about the identity. But when we are discussing, so we are having some other way of identity, means other forms of identity as well, like devices. Devices also have their identity. For that, you know that some IMEI number or some other numbers are being generated, right? So identify the, so same way means every devices or anything have their identity, right? So identity is important. Now you may understand that what is identity. So identity, simple, identifies you. Identity defines you, right? So who you are, right? Or what you have, what knowledge you are have, right? What you possess something, right? So this type of things is being decided by, so that is your identity. So knowledge can be related to anything, right? Now we are trying to we are saving your identity somewhere, right? Being as a resource for some organization, so your identity is being saved somewhere. So that place is normally called corporate user store, right? Corporate user store. If you are just having some placeholder to save your identity. So I will give a very means you can say important example, or you can say very you can say famous example of user store, that is Active Directory. So what Active Directory does? Microsoft Active Directory is a tool that is saving all of your identities. It can be any type of identity. It can be a, you can say device. It can be a means some software. It can be your user identity. So Microsoft Active Directory is just having a identity store. It's not identity provider. Be very clear. It's just a identity store. Somewhere it is also called at user store. Somewhere it is also called at corporate user store. Somewhere it is identity store. So remember that the placeholder, the database where we are keeping our data of identity, that is normally called user store. Just having this identity is not going to serve your purpose, and that is not the identity provider. So identity provider is a tool, is a service, right? Is an application, you can see, that checks means that runs in background. Means whenever you're going to that login into any applications, so a program is running in back, means you can say that service is working, and the service is checking that. It's going and checking that in that user store, your data is means correct or not. Whatever user ID password you are giving, whatever you can say you are giving some RSA token, or you if you, somewhere you are going in office login fingerprint or retina, right? So that's data is stored somewhere when you're going to authenticate you. So that is in between, right? So one is user store, one is some application which you are trying to log in between one application is working, and that is called identity provider. I hope it should be clear, right? So identity provider is nothing but a tool, applications, a service, whatever you want to name, that's check means that you authenticate the data for any application into some user store. Am I clear? Any doubt, please, guys? So that's defined here. An identity provider is service that stores and verifies user identity. IDPs are typically cloud-hosted services and often work with the single sign-on provide to authenticate. Often works. Remember that single sign-on is a feature of identity provider. It's not a mandatory thing, right? It is a one of the feature you can utilize for the. So to authenticate, IDP are not limited to verify human users. Technically, an IDP can attend any entity connected to a network or system, including computer, any other devices. So any doubt? If no, then we will go to the next. So as I have tried to explain identity provider, so now I will see that what is identity authentication service. So I have means my task has been you can say simplified as I have explained you that identity provider. So identity authentication service is nothing but a identity provider or an identity provider, you can say, right? It's a simple, you can say it is an identity provider. Any doubt? So identity authentication service, it's provide the by name, it is very clear. Everywhere it is not very clear by name, but this service by SAP is very clear by the name. Identity authentication service, right? So it's giving providing you three type of features that I will explain what exactly. One, it is identity provider, right? Means even though you are storing data somewhere else, you are storing data in Active Directory. So what it can do, it can take data from the Active Directory and it can, or you can say, authenticate it, right? So that is called in that. If you are using that in that way, like you are using some other identity provider, right? Means just let me correct myself again here. That means you are using some other identity provider. Assume that ADFS or Azure AD, right? So in that case, you just want to that, okay, means every time our integration with ADFS or Azure AD is quite difficult. So what we can do, since IS have the very easy integration, or you can say very simplified integration with all of our SAP applications. So what we will do, we will just keep IS as a proxy. Means every system in the SAP landscape will get authenticated by IS, but it will fetch data from the Azure side, right? Means it will go and test in Azure. In that case, it will just work as an identity provider. Clear? Means it's not having user database in their own. So it's fetching the user database from Azure AD or Active Directory, right? And it's trying to authenticate you. So that is a way, means it is not working itself as a full facility. So it's just giving as a proxy. Means it's still authenticating you, but it is you can say that using database, means data from database, some other database. And that's I was trying to explain that corporate identity provider, right? One, right? So here identity authentication, if you can say, here is a corporate identity provider. This all corporate user is maintained here, and it is in between, sitting in between, taking data authenticated from the corporate identity provider and going to authenticate you. So that is the one features. Adding to that, it's not like that this identity authentication is not having the identity store. It is also having the identity store. So remember that if you want to make this identity service authentication service as your identity provider with identity store, you can make it. You have no need to keep any other corporate. So for any organization who is not having or who want to migrate their data from any other from identity store, they can migrate their data, because identity authentication service is already having the feature of the identity store. So you can store all of your user data into identity store, and IS will means it is providing you both the service. It is providing you the identity store as well as it is providing to identity provider, right? So both services being provided via this IS. Coming to that next table, that it is also providing the single sign-on. This is add-on service. It's not a mandatory service, as I've told that any identity provider can have. Normally, I will say it have. Means normally it have, because it is a really, you can say, if not a mandatory, but it is a very, you can say, complementary feature, right? Means without that you can't say means identity provider is a complete tool. So it is a one of the complementary features. So that's why we are having the of, or you can say single sign-on is a part of this identity. So this identity provider give you that, you can say that SSO. This identity provider give you that, you can say identity store. This is also an identity provider. And then all SAP cloud application can offer their users the same authentication mechanism. That is anyhow means Bill discussed that, means if you are using that SAP IS and your landscape having lot of IS applications, means SAP applications, then that make your, you can say that makes your life very simple, because integrating with the same authentication mechanism will make your life easier. Easy separation mechanism for multiple user stores. As I have told that you can utilize multiple user store. That's I have not told. Again, means as I have told that you can use one user store, right? Same way, it's not like that. Using this IS, if you're thinking that your user data is stored in 2-3 places, right? More than one places. Normally we are saying multiple means more than one places. So you can use multiple user store and use this IS as a proxy, and you can do your job, right? So even separation mechanism for multiple users to work, flexible configuration where to validate user credentials, and I think most of the things I have already explained. Any doubt regarding this? Is just an introduction about the IS. Please be interactive. If any doubt, please let me know. Surely we are going to in active sessions, interactive sessions, or you can say practical sessions in a few minutes. But yeah, before that, I wanted to clarify most also on the theoretical sides. Any doubt before we are going to the practical sessions? No? So as we have explained the means what exactly IS, so now I will just go to IS and I will try to show something, right? And then I will means work with all of you, that I will not do all the things, but you have to do, I will guide to all of you how you are working, so that you should be confident, right? First time if you are doing then you should be confident. It's not a very, again, rocket science. Creating user management is not a very big thing, but yeah, if you are doing first time, so learning should be means it will be a good learning, right? Okay, so these are the tasks. Just I have mentioned it. I have not any created PPT for this. Okay, so I will just once you will go to any you can say IS system, you will find this type of, okay, so you will find four, means you normally tabs, or you can say four bigger areas of applications, and then you will find this type of, at one place it is a Fiori type of, you can say, application. So you will find different type of catalogs or groups, okay, so different groupings of the tiles, right? So here user and authorization, then application and resources, and then you can find that identity provider, and then you can find monitoring and reporting, right? So these all are the features which is available in IS. So if you get a new system, means I think on first day of introductory session, I have shown you that once you got a new system, new applications, so how you will get it to, right? So for that, I will again repeat you. Okay, it's like if you will go to the Cloud Foundry, your sub account, BTP sub account. So we have already, that cloud identity services. So this is the service which provides you the IS, right? So once you are subscribed, mostly you will subscribe, but I think mostly will not subscribe. Mostly what is happening, if you are going to take any SAP, you can say cloud service. I'm not saying SAP any on-premise system. If you are going to subscribe any SAP cloud applications, then IS is coming by a default. IS is coming as a free for you, right? So they will give you IS because authentications normally they think that. So IS normally we are not purchasing, right? So normally what we are doing, so we are getting IS as a, or you can say, complementary to most of the applications. If there may be some rare exceptions, I don't remember, but yeah, till the time I have worked with any cloud applications, IS is coming with those, right? But yeah, possibilities there. It may be possible that some old application somewhere it is not coming, but most of the application I can see that if not all, any cloud SAP cloud applications, if you are going to purchase, you will get IS as a substitute. So like that, we have purchased here SAP Cloud Identity Access Governance. So we have got Cloud Identity Services as well. But if you will go to SAP trial account, you will not find this Cloud Identity Services. If anyone have already logged in, so you can check that this Cloud Identity Service is not available in trial account. But as soon as you are getting a, any can say subscribed, or you can say enterprise type of account, so this Cloud Identity Service is coming as a default. So it's again a simple process. It's not very difficult, but since we are starting it again, so I'm just trying to explain that you have to go to Service Marketplace, and you have to you can say just subscribe these applications, right? So you will go to Cloud Identity Services. It is there, right? So you can just click on create, and you can find that. So you have to select the plan. Okay. So it is instance, whatever name if you want to give. I will not create for your knowledge because we have already created it. No need to give anything, but for any instance that is coming, go to next. It is asking to review. If you want to give, it will utilize some space. You can say runtime environment cloud foundry. It is going to utilize some space. So last thing is just you have to create it, right? So just once you will create it, so it will create applications for you. Okay, and that applications will be. So once, if you are doing first time and if you are generating, so by default you will get a mail for that. Okay, whoever doing first time, so you will get a mail for that. And how that mail will look like, that will also, that I can show it to you. Yeah, you will get a mail like that, activation information for identity authentication service, right? So this you will get mail like that, and it will give. So this is also giving the link. Means right now I was not knowing the time I have started to do this activation, so I was not knowing what is the link. Means what is the link for this, you can say. So they are also giving you the link. Okay, they are also giving the activation. Once you will go there, so what is happening, I can't do initial, means you can say password and some basic details. After that, so you means, so what is happening, once you are doing activation, so by default your account is being created, right? So you are not creating your account yourself, so account is being created automatically as a administrator for yourself. Clear? So what is happening? Administrator account is being created as soon as you are clicking on activation button, and it will ask to set your password with some basic details, mail ID and something. Once you have done that, after that it will get activated for you, and after that you can go and log in via this, and you are admin if you are the first user. So that is the way how you are activating the your you can say admin account, right? Or first time IS. So that is a complete process. I hope it should be fine, right? Any doubt?
They have done it because they've been invited and they have entered the password and they have done it.
It's really nice. Yeah, just for means anyone who have the dot thing, yeah, you can. So
Can
once
you go through
you
that
have
again,
done the same,
please?
come again. Yeah,
I
can
think we do not have admin access, Prakash. We just have the normal access for IAS.
let me check. I am coming there. Okay, I will check who have the admin access, who don't have, but who have just confirmed that they have done all these things.
We are
I said
able
they
to do this with the trial account
two
or the regular accounts. Which one?
Your voice is little echoing. Is it for only for me or someone else?
Can you hear me well?
Yeah, now I can hear you well.
Okay, I'm asking this creation of application for us, where we're expected to try it out. Is it in the trial account?
No, it's
Or
no, it's not possible in trial account because it is a, as just now I have explained that it is coming with any purchased account. So you can't get it into your trial account. It is a means once you are getting any you are purchasing any subscriptions for any application, you can say not free subscriptions, but you are purchasing some subscription for any applications, either success factor or SAP analytics cloud, S4 HANA cloud, Ariba, any applications. If you are getting IAG, so it is coming as a you can say it comes as a free, right? Comes as a free to you, but it's not coming as a free in the trial account. So no need to worry. Means for that also means we will try to show how it works. Okay, so it doesn't matter. This is a very simple process. As I have told that for you have to just again go and create the same way. Just now we have explained. So now before going to user management, first thing is that user administrators, right? So I can find that all of your user ID have been set up here, but it may be possible that you are having only means limited access. That is possible. So that's I will. So what I was trying to explain a few minutes back, that as soon as I had activated, right, I had activated my user ID. So what happened? I my user ID means you can see that my user ID, where is this? So yeah, for top one. So my user ID is already being created here, right? I have not created, and no one manually created it. It is automatically created as per the process. The remaining all user ID, either me have created or Ankit has created. After that, I have set up user ID for Ankit, and then Ankit has set up user ID for most of you. So that is a process, right? So after that, you can create the administration from here. Means most of the tasks start from here. Before that, what I have explained, that is done just for the first time. We can't do again and again those things. Okay, that is first time. Once you are subscribing your application into your BTP sub account, that point of time you are getting activation mail. Using that activation mail, you are activating your ISTNet, and then your admin access is being created. Once you have created, then you have to come here and you have to add any user. So I think all of you are already there. If anyone is missing, please just quickly can you tell me your name or mail ID? I will create it here. Anyone who is missing? I hope everyone is there.
Yeah, Prakash, my user ID is there, but whenever I was Ankit has been dropped an email, no, that when I was clicking that link, it is redirecting to profile, not for this identity authentication service. So it is going for user profile.
User profile. Okay, can you
Mm.
show your screen what
Yeah,
exact
it's
problem you're facing? Is it possible
Let
for you?
me. Yeah, I'll
So
share
some
in.
people maybe
Yeah, so
that
that I can understand from it.
Let me share. Can you able to see my screen?
Not it.
Can you able to see?
I am not. Now I can see. Yeah.
So here he given this link now. So IIS access. If we going for this link, it is going to redirect into profile. So
yeah,
profile
same case
management.
for me also.
I'm not given a link to Ravi in the chat. Use that.
Yeah,
Maybe-
we need to put ondemand.com/admin. So it will go to the admin page.
Okay then.
So let's go to the team chat and then the link has been given by Sarna.
Oh, go
Just-
go to your mail again once, please.
Yeah, mail. Okay. I'm going here. Yeah, mail.
HANA on. You are clicking on HANA on demand, right?
No. I'm clicking on IIS. So
Can you just copy this link and paste on Notepad? Just copy link address and paste on.
copy link address.
Yeah.
Another
Paste
tab.
on.
So here.
Yeah, put admin also after that.
Admin. Okay, then fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I think you have, and everyone who is facing the issue can just try like this. Okay.
Yeah, it is working now. Fine.
Yeah. So that's the way. But that mail is not the mail sent via the SAP first time. That mail is sent via Ankit as for your access purpose. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So if all of you have means access, then I will. But I explain what you have to do. You have to just give email and then first name and then last name. These are the mandatory, and after that you can just configure authorizations little bit. You can change means what access you want to give to your users, right?
Are you sharing your screen?
Come again, please.
Are you sharing your screen?
Okay.
Are you sharing your screen?
No. I stopped and then I have not started. No problem. I'm already active. You can see my screen now.
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, so this is admin console, and as I have just shown you that we have just click on add and users. So this page was coming, right? So this page, just you have to give email, first name, last name. That's only. Once you are giving this, so automatically this access is coming to you. I will explain one by one. So manage applications means if you want to onboard any application in IIS, right? Then this access is required. Manage corporate identity provider means if you want to integrate some corporate identity provider, then you require this access. Manage users means if you want to create user, delete user, so that is you can say assign some access to the users. So that is manage users. Read users just
that,
if.
Yeah, Prakash, before that we need to be maintain the user in application level, right? Before we have to
No,
come to here.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Okay.
That's must be very clear. Yeah, sometimes. Right now, the discussion we are doing access for the IIS. What you can do in.
Yeah, actually, like previously I worked with an IBP project. So there I did it like I was before in IBP system maintain the employee. After that created a business user. After maintain the business user, then I was imported that information, so Excel information, and I uploaded to import to users on here. So otherwise we can able to maintain the manually over here also. But usually first we need to maintain the user, then only it will comes to know. I was follow that process actually previously.
That's a different thing. Right now, I'm not explaining that. Okay. So I do not want to means confuse any other colleague here. So just to simplify again, I'm repeating my thing. This things right now I'm discussing, I'm creating. Once I have been created as administrator first time, right? I am administrator. Now I want to make some other users who should have the access. Who is going to have access for IS? Not a business user, right? Why business user will come to the IS? IS is identity provided system. So no business user have no job to come into IS. Only some technical user, some system admin user need to come here, right?
No, not like that. As my understanding, I'm saying that I'm not saying that your is a wrong assumption. So when I was enter the user information, activation email and everything, here itself it is sending. So end user or technical user or any user. So when I was, you can go to import users over there.
No, I will explain. Just
Okay.
wait for a few minutes. I have told that
Okay.
what you are trying to tell. I understood that thing, and I will
Okay.
explain those things. But if I will go and jump somewhere else, na, then
Okay.
confusion will be more to others who is
Oh,
new
who
to these things.
use?
Okay?
Okay. Then am I
I will
saying
explain.
correct or not? That's it. I'm asking.
No, you are saying correct. Import user,
Okay.
export user, and those thing type of things works. But that is a separate thing. I'm not discussing
Okay.
right now that. I'm not totally discussing user management as of now. I am
Okay.
discussing right now administrators, right? I'm not
Sure.
discussing about the user. So
Yes,
be
I
clear.
understand.
Whenever you are coming to cloud, yesterday also I have explained BTP. Be clear with the your concept. Otherwise, it will create some problem. Which things you are going to work? What you are going to work? Right now, I am just discussing the access about that this IS means if your user ID is created as administrator, then only you can log in here. Understood?
Right.
Here, how many users are there? So these are the users, right? So these are the users. Who are the users? They can log in into this IS system. Understood?
Understand.
Yeah. So these are the users whom I have created as administrators. They can come and log in into our identity authentication service tenant. Here he can come and log in. Just now, I think one of you have checked that they can log in it, right? And what he can do. So these are the roles or groups you can say that directly access about IS. I'm not still discussing access about any other applications. Clear? I'm not discussing about any IBP or any IAG or any other applications. Right now, I'm just discussing that how you can get access into IS.
Okay. Clear, Prakash.
Yeah. So,
Hi Prakash.
yeah.
I can see my name in this list, Akash Raina, but when I'm trying to log in into IAS, I'm not able to log in.
Akash, you would have received an email as long back, maybe on 9th or 10th of December. Okay, you would have received one email from SAP. You know, and that you have not activated your account. You would have received the email, but you didn't notice that, I guess. Could you please check your email box where if you have received any email as activation information or Prakash, can you just show us and
Or like,
in what I
yeah,
have given for that?
or like you can send again activation link to him again. So in the user management through. So Prakash, you can send it now.
I will try. But can you just Akash, can you share your screen? I want to understand your problem.
Yeah.
So he was not activated his account. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like whenever I'm trying to, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So whenever I'm trying to log in into this, so it is mentioning we cannot authenticate you. And I think so. I have received that this activation email as well, and I have already activated it last week. But see, as I don't think so. Well, it will work now. But
No,
your activation already used.
already used. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check your account if it is already active. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
And while login, you can
So
use
can
your
you try with your
email ID.
email address, Akash?
I've tried with my email address as well, but it's not working.
Okay.
I think you are not giving correct, you can say, mail ID. Rana is not the things which should work. Why you are not giving your mail ID?
No, this is my email ID. Rena was the username which
Okay.
which
But
was
even with
created.
your mail ID is not working, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Always give email ID because your username is not maintained.
So
Yeah.
your email ID has been maintained akash.raina@gmail.com. So
Let me check with that as well, but it is akashraina.4. Let me check with that if it's
Yeah,
work.
akash.raina4@the rate of gmail.com. I think that is also your email ID, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's akashraina.4.
No, akash.raina4.
Mm,
Is it your mail ID?
yes, it's
see.
working. It's logging
Yeah,
in.
here it is
No,
maintained.
actually, my email ID, as you can see here, it's akash.raina4, and it's okay, sure.
No, means at which link you have got this, you can say, mail? Because it is
Uh,
showing that akash.raina4.
yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
Yeah, that you're
Actually,
Because,
confusing the email actually.
yeah. Then you have to use
actually,
this mail
sometime,
ID.
yeah, actually, even sometime if I give akashraina.4 as well, still it will be coming to this email ID only.
No. It will not happen. Just go akash.raina4
No,
and try it
now it's
once.
working.
Now
Now
it's
it's
working.
working. Now
Yeah.
it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
No,
much.
no problem. Okay, so I hope most of the questions. Still, I will say that please be clear. I am taking few more minutes, but I will try to explain every concept very crystal clear. I know that what are the points where we are always getting confused. So whenever you are having any confusion, any doubt, please stop me. Try to ask me because so that I can clarify all of your doubts. These small things create problems in future. Okay, again I am sharing my screen. So I think now everyone is able to log in. Fine. In IS tenant, Didi,
Yes.
Preeti, Janvi, can you
Yes.
confirm? Okay, fine then. Can you see my screen again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. So I was explaining these things. So before going to be that, I will just try to give you. So manage applications. Can someone tell me what exactly? If I will make it on, means this access is being provided to you. If I'm making it off, means you are not having access for this. Whatever right now we are coming into administrators. So administrators is for admin job for IS. So it is not having any relation with the normal users or business user, right? These administrators users should able to log in into IS and they can do this type of jobs. These are the authorizations, means configure authorization. So manage applications. IS, what is 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 doing? So IS is doing authentication for the applications, right? So if you want to create means onboard applications in your IS, then you should have access for this. If you have to configure identity provider, right, means if you have to configure, change, maintain or identity provider, means if you are using some other identity provider like LDAP or some LDAP or Azure AD or AD, so in that case you should have access for this. Manage users, when I saying that manage users, means you can create users in user management, export users, import users, so all type of users. Read users, if I'm just giving only read user data, means you have to just access to go and read, means only display access. Manage groups means you can create groups, delete groups, assign groups to someone, right? So that is a manage groups. Manage tenant configuration. So if you are means having again application case, so if you are doing some specific configuration related with some tenant, that is a generic configuration, then you should add have access for this, right? Access real-time provisioning API and access proxy system API. These are the, you can say, added authorizations you can have all. Access identity provisioning tenant admin API. Okay, so these are some, you can say, system for that. API provisioning tenant is nothing but IPS. So if you want to get access for the IPS, so you have to just make it as S. So these are the means authorizations normally being provided by you can say that administrators in IS. Means once you come into this, just like I'm not giving applications, so this tab will not be visible to you. If I'm not giving corporate identity provider to you, means identity provider will not be visible to you. If I'm not giving manage users and only read users, so it will be visible for you, but a few means sections will be, you can say, just import users, export users may not display. Okay, so but you can still able to see the users, right? So that's the big means I'm trying to tell you that if you are going to create administrators here, so it's nothing but it's giving access to you in IS, not any applications. Am I clear, right? So first job, if you are going to log in into IS, so create some administrators, right? Administrators are of two types. Here, two types, right? Once you will go to create, so one is user, normal user like you and me, and one is system. System means like that this IS have to talk to some other systems, like it have to create means trust relationship with the IAG. It have to create trust relationship with any other application. It have to talk with some other application. For that, which user ID and password will be utilized? For that purpose, you will utilize this system administrator, right? So you can create on system, right? So this both type of users you can create from here. Is it clear now?
Prakash,
I've got one
last
question,
three,
please.
can you explain?
Can you
Last
can
three.
you explain better this manage tenant configuration? What's that role all about?
Manage tenant configuration, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So if you will go to applications, you will find tenant setting. So there are a lot of tenant settings here. Okay. So if you are having access for tenant configurations, then you can do all these configurations here. That's only nothing more. So whatever is specific to a specific tenant, if you want to do all those configurations, so that's only you are maintaining it from here. So that authorizations, if you are coming to administrators, so for all those tenants related setting, you have to have access for managed tenant configuration. Clear? So these things you will not get, only this tab. Like a lot of things are there, tenant setting and informations. If you will come here, so you'll find some details. Then if you will come to trusted certificate, so things are specific to, you can say that it is a common to tenant, not for any specific application, but it is generic to the tenants. Means we are connecting tenants. So if you want to change some configuration for the SAML, so if you are going to change some configuration for SAML, so it will change to everyone, right? So if you have to go for the, you can say like you have to do applications onboarding. So in case of application onboarding, you need to download the tenant. If you will go to SML, I can show you. This is SML configurations, right? So we are downloading metadata. So you can only download metadata if you have the access for the tenant setting, right? So these are the access you require it to have do the tenant settings. Is it clear? You have to do means MFA setting, right? So MFA setting, this will be applied for the generic, means for all the applications. So if you have to do the multiple factor authentication setting, you must have that rule. So this type of things, so you have to just come here in tenant setting and you can find that whatever the different type of settings and configurations are there.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So just I'm trying to explain that if you are the administrators, so these are the authorizations which requires to work with, right? So if you want to restrict some authorization, okay, this should work with the user management, this should work with the identity provider, this should work with the applications. So accordingly, you can make off or on, right, to access to them. So till now, I have just explained administrators. Now I will try to distinguish between what administrators are. So once you are administrators, so surely you are an user. So who are the administrators? Even though you are not adding those users in the user management, automatically that user will be created in the user management. Okay. So just for the Ankit, do you have any mail ID? So I want to create one more administrator so that at least I can show to the team that how it can be created, right? Ankit, are you there?
Okay. Create this mentor school one and then create again. Mentor school.
Can you ping me
So
quickly?
it's already part of the administrator. Now, so this is a part of go to IAS. So go to IAS. Go to IAS.
Okay. Okay.
It is already one maintained. Mentor school. Yes, this one.
But
Can you
it is
delete it?
already created.
You can
Okay.
delete it and keep again, right?
Del- delete option. I don't know why I'm not getting.
Delete
I
option.
was going to ask the same question
Once
on
we
delete
remove
option.
into off, it will automatically be removed. Now
How do you
just
remove
remove.
it?
User management and delete that from user
Ah,
management. You
if
can
you
delete.
make off everyone and save it, that will automatically remove the admin access.
No,
Yeah.
it will remove the admin access. But
Yeah.
is user get removed?
Yeah,
User
Prakash,
will be
can you
there.
go and delete
User
user
will not be
management?
there.
It's not. No. I think you are saying the right one, Ankit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I have
go
to
to
come here.
delete.
Because I just sorry, I forget, means we have to delete users from here because automatically user is getting created here. So mentors pool. Okay. So just I will delete this user. So automatically it will delete from that place. Yeah. So now you can find that mentors pool is not here. That was 001415. Okay, it is not here now. And I will go to administrators and you can find that now mentors pool is also not here. So what I was trying to tell you that even though you are like I have deleted from the user management, so it's deleted from the administrator. So you can't delete it from directly from the administrators. You have to delete it from the you can see user management. But if you are adding it a user here, okay. So yeah,
Pool.com. I gave you the chat. You can pick it from there.
mentor pool,
I
right?
think you can also remove it from the administrators. If you remove all the rows and save, it will automatically be out. I tried it with a user. I just added.
You tried for Priti user.
Yes, I added a user with the new email address. I gave the
Okay.
user some rows and then I remove all the rows and saved and
Yeah.
it's out.
If you remove all here, it will remove the user as well when we save it.
Yeah, from the administrators. That.
I have not tried, so anyhow, that's fine. If you are having that testing, that's very fine. I have not tried like that anytime, but yeah,
Recently, I removed some users. That's why.
really nice to know. Yeah, and so that is a. But yeah, normal user management you can delete them. Okay. So mentor pool, what is the status? Then I think it's very clear, and I have no need to create it, right? So can you confirm this?
Email ID is there in the chat.
Okay.
Which I gave you.
Yeah. So if I'm just creating this user, so you can find that this user have been created, a new user ID have been generated. As soon as you are getting this user ID, what it means like that this is created in user management, right? So we have not created this in, you can say, our user management. You can find that this is created in user management, right? So this user is already available here. Okay, so this means also you are understanding that user creations, and that was part of our training. Create users, create user groups, assign groups to the user, right? So create users are you can say simple task. We have already created. I think few of you already created few users. So that is a one way, but that is a one way means you are creating users Like that user should able to log in some applications. In this our case, IAG applications. So you have no need to go and create administrators, right? Every administrator is not required. Means every user is not. Every user will not be administrators, right? So that you have to go to user admin. You have to create add user here, okay, and then you have to give that first name, last name, email, login, employee, right? Type of employee means you can say it is employee, partner, public, external, whatever the thing, and then what you want. You want to send activation mail. You want to set initial password, or you just want to set them status active. All three options are available. Okay, so simply you can create any user ID, and after that if you are sending the activation email, then that mail can also be sent to them, right? So these are the three options you can utilize if you are creating that user okay first time. So I hope it should be fine. If someone want to create, they have the mail ID with themselves, please create it. Okay, if you have some mail ID, this is simple process. You have already logged into admin, just go and create some user. Don't worry about that. If you have some other email ID for yourself as well, you can go and create it. Use this one, send activation email, so that you can get a mail. If you have your own mail ID, you can get activation email as well. This is just an activity. So just that's why I'm asking. It's not a big thing. If you have any problem, then I can help you. Just I'm waiting 2 minutes. After that, means I will just confirm that who have created and get the mail. Whoever created, just raise your hand so that we can, means just I can think that yeah, people are working. We are not silent.
Yeah, I did, and I got the mail.
It's done.
Yeah.
Anyone else left? Not yet done. I think I have missed one or two name. Okay, so I'm pinging you in chat box, and that is a role name. Okay, not do directly, but yeah, just I will show you what we have to do here. So this is a task given against your name, but I think I have missed someone names. Please let me know uh, whose name I'm missing. Preeti is there, Deepak is there. Who is with our name? Janvi is there, Ravi Shankar I have given, and then Manju also I have given. Can someone confirm, Ankit, who is coming with the R? Okay, fine.
Akash, Preeti, Janvi, Deepak, Manju, Prasanna, Preeti, Rajesh, Ravi Shankar.
Rajiv.
I'll repeat again. Akash is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Preeti is there. Janvi,
Okay.
Deepak,
Rajesh, I think. Yeah.
Deepak, Manju, and Prasanna, Preeti, Rajesh. I get all of them now.
Yeah. So I have pinged for everyone. Everyone have to create a group. Before that, I will guide how you can create a group. It's not again big thing. Just for the purpose, it will be solved. That I will explain what these groups are also. Okay. Okay. So just I will create first one. IFWF manager. Okay. So this is the group. So it is a technical name. You have to give it here. Display name, if you want, you can give some, or if you not, then you can just give display name also like that. Descriptions, you have to just copy, which we have given on the description side, okay? And you can utilize this thing. And in detailed descriptions, you can give that, what exactly this, okay? So simply in this way, you can create the group, okay? So it is created the name, display name, and then you can say group. So this group has been created. Assignment will come later, and the group id is generated itself, and this is the most important thing, right? So same way as I have pinged you, all of you have to create a group, but before that I will explain. Don't start right now. What exactly, why we are creating these groups? First I will explain what exactly groups are. So groups are nothing but a grouping of the user, right? So you are providing some access via the those groups, right? So but that simply groups is not having any access. Sometimes you're thinking that okay, this groups is having some access. No, that group is a simple user group. Means you are creating a group of users. But yeah, as soon as you are creating, so there are two type of groups you can create in IAG, and that is very important. All of you, or I think coming from the GRC background, right? So once you are coming from the GRC background, so you know that if you have to make someone as a manager, someone as admin, someone as you can say manager, control owner, control monitor. So what were you doing? You were first going to the access control owner, and you are adding a user, and after adding user, you are marking the checkbox, right? As you are decide, means if someone need to be controllers, you are giving against that. If you are someone need to be firefighter owners, you are just checking, right? Whoever worked on GRC, if not work, just forget it, not a problem. Means simply you can think that there is a process to define, right, who will be the manager. So manager is a group, it's not giving any access to you, right? Just you are declaring that a manager, so you can work as a manager. Even though you are manager, but you are not having the proper authorizations, you can't do anything, right? But you are manager, means you can be displayed in the system that you are a manager, right? That only. But if you have to take some actions, you must have some authorizations. So be very clear. Groups and authorizations. Groups just giving you the positions, groups just giving you that you are part of some grouping, but it's not giving directly access to you, right? Okay, so some groups is also coming in the case of like that, that will be explained a little later. But yeah, this is the groups that is mandatory, and that is the reason IS is a mandatory part of IAG implementations. Means without using IS, you can't create means you can't create managers, you can't create security owners, you can't means lot of, you can say, admin type of jobs can't be done, right? So that's why it is mandatory, and this having some specific naming conventions that I have kept in this PPT. So I have just given this, you can say, naming convention. So this is the naming conventions you are using, and you have to use same naming conventions, otherwise it will not work, right? So assume that when you create these groups, you must follow these naming conventions. So first word will be IAG underscore, then type. Type can be below one. If it is a control monitor, write CM. If it is a control owner, write CO. It is a workflow related, means any approver or owner, it should be WF. It is a role owner, then write. So second letter means at the place of type, you have to give this one. RO, CADM, candidate business role administrator, RCA, business role content approver, RRA. So these are the categories. So these are fixed things. It's not like that it's going to change every day. So these are the fixed things, means if you are declaring. So this IAG underscore group type you have to give, and then last word you have little independence. You can give monitor, owner, admin, whatever the things. So last name is open. Name can be your choosing, though we recommend choosing a name that is clear and concise. Means if someone is monitor, write monitor. If someone is owner, write admin owner. If someone is, you can say, approver, write approver. So that's way it should be clear. It's not like that owner, manager, approver, security owner. This type of words you can use as a to be very crystal clear, right? So that is the group naming conventions, and these are mandatory part of IAG implementations, right? So if you are implementing IAG, you must have implement this you can say role naming conventions, and you must have created these groups in your IS, right? This will be utilized in your IAG. So as of now, these are the things, and this is the all the roles which you can say that accordingly that is it has been created. Okay, so these all are there. Okay, so you can go and create, even though there are more, but we have not created all. Okay, so just we have put this list. So just you can see that I have created IFWF manager. So what it is going to do, so in the create access request app, there is a manager field. You assign users to IAG WF means workflow manager group to make them available for selection in this field. Managers are responsible for approving access request, right? So if you going to raise access request, then there is a field that is called manager field. So if you are making this group and assigning this group to some user, then that user will be the manager, right? That user will be populated as a manager. So that is the purpose. So same way, different groups have the different purposes. Right now, means just I can discuss one or two, not all. Like IAG workflow admin. So in the access request process, request goes through a security stage. User assigned to these groups are available to receive an. So as a default, you can say workflow, we are having 3-stage workflow. Manager. So for manager, you have just found the first role. For admin, means you can say security admin, you have the second role, right? So this role means if you have this role means you will be maintained as a security admin in your system, and you can get workflow for if you it is going to security stage, then you will get workflow for that stage. One more important is default. Assume that when managers or role owners are not available, right? Anything, the task of reviewing a means user access is forwarded to members of this group. Means in some cases assume that managers is not managed, maintained, or in some cases assume that role owners are not maintained. Then it will go to the user who is maintained as a default. Means that will go to the if you remember that same type of workflow we are having, that approver not found in case of our standard GRC. So same it is like that, but we are maintaining as a default. If some means somewhere role owner is not maintained or manager is missing, then in that case workflow will go to the this default person, so that they can take the decision, and you can say just either cancel the request or means take the proper decision based on that. So these are the things. There are multiple other type of rules also. Right now we have no need to discuss all this because this is not part of total IS training. Okay? So just what I will request to all of you, as I have created one groups, so please create all groups as I have given a name against that, means in chat box, right? So this is assigned one group to everyone. So I think we can give 5 minutes of time, and by 8:35 I hope every group should be created in our system. However, 2 minutes is quite sufficient time, but I'm just giving 5 minutes time. Please go ahead and create this. If you are so quick. Nice.
Sorry, did you have specific groups for specific persons, or we should create every one of them?
No, I have given in chat box. You can find that with naming, right? If you will go to chat box, okay, so you can find that I have given that name with every person's, right?
I'm not sure I saw mine.
Yeah, I think second one is your one.
Okay.
Yeah, IEGWF default.
Oh, somebody has not created it. I created another one.
It's fine. So you have created already, right? Okay. But I just see.
Okay, I create. Can do.
Yeah, if you have created someone else, that's also fine. Just yeah, IEGWF default is created. WF default is also created by someone.
So let me leave it. I created refine. IAGWF CBR refine.
No problem. CBR refine, right? Still,
yeah,
it is not.
down.
Yeah, it is signed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 8 is already created. So I think 1 or 2 is missing, or everyone have already done. I hope everyone is already done now. So what I will do, just a small task left in this activity. So once you have created the groups, so create user groups is already done. Now you have to assign these groups to user, right? So this again so simple. So you have to go to, you can do in both way. You have to select any, so first I will show that you are in already in groups. So two things I will show. If you want to check that today your display name, like I think someone did you already give a refine role design service, right? If you want to give some naming like that, you can come here and you can change the display name, right? So display name will get changed. That is a one thing. And if descriptions and display name you can change, your technical names and group ID will not change, right? So but display name still you can change. So in future if you think that okay no this name doesn't looks fine, if you want to give some, you can say name that is easily understandable to business, you can go and come. So that is one thing. Another thing, you have to assign this role to, like few roles are very mandatory to assign, as I have told that IEGWF admin, IEGWF default, and IEGWF manager. So I will create some, means just for the purpose you can do it. So like if I have open here, so what if I have to go, so come here and add users, so you will get the users list, right? So if I have to assign that, assume that, means I will just take by default, not taking anything. So assume that just for the first 4 I have taken for the, you can say, so these are the added, right? So these are the now managers. So once ever if you will go for any, so these are the people who will be able to, you can say, get the request for the approvers, right? As a manager, right? So once you will go to raise a request, so this all 4 will be available there. Now coming to the default, so same way you can do it, right? So means I will just ask as I have done for one. So now it is your task to assign some users. If you want to do for yourself at least, not for others, if you want to have some access related with this, just go to your own user ID, and how you can do it, That is for, in this way you can go to user, you can search your user ID. If I want to search Ankit name, then I can find like that as well. However, Ankit name is coming on top, but yeah, if you want to search any name, just search it. After that, you have to just go there, right? And then you have to go to users groups, and in users groups, you have to go and select, right? Yeah, here it is coming assign groups, right? So come assign. So whatever not assigned to you, it will come, right? So if you have to add something, assume that workflow admin, just select it and save it, right? So now it is assigned to the Ankit. So same way you can do for yourself. You can assign whatever groups you want to assign. Okay, but this all will give access to applications, and that's why I was trying to explain few minutes back that what right now we are doing in user management, this access is being provided to applications wise, right? This is not providing any access to your admin side, which we have explained few minutes back. So I hope it's clear. Any doubt till it? Please, if you have any doubt, please let me know.
IEC, that's why we are IEC readiness. Let's say that if it is APC system or any Ariba system, then we would be creating those groups, right?
Ankit, you are there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, Ankit, I don't know why today your voice is not very clear. Can you come again, please?
I'm asking, as we are going to do IIT related, that's why IIG related groups we are creating. Let's say if I'm going to do work or SAC system, then SAC related groups we will be creating, right?
No, it's not like that. As I have told that IS is the mandatory part for the IS implementations, and few groups are already integrated with IS. Means that is mandatory to create. It's not like that for every applications you have to create groups in IS. Means IS, okay. But yeah, for IS it is mandatory. So, but yeah, means group concept also I will explain a little later. Okay, that is a little different. But right now, which groups we have created, that is a mandatory part of implements. You can say it is a mandatory part for our ISG implementations.
So I
But it's
asked
not true for all. Yeah.
SAP Analytics Cloud. Let's say if I have SAP Analytics Cloud in place of IAG, then SAP Analytics Cloud related groups will be created, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. That's what I would have, not IES. I was asking, let's say if I wanted to, use SAC services, then I maybe through IES we want to integrate SAC user, then we would be creating SAC related group, right?
It depends again upon based on the applications. It is not always true. That's I have told that. IAG requires these groups to be created in IS, but it is not true with all the applications. Yeah. Okay. So if there is no doubt till it, so we will take a small break, and by IST time we will back by 8:50. Okay. And after that we will continue with the remaining topics for the today.
How many minutes break?
Approximately 10 to 11 minutes. By 8:50,
Right.
I will be back.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Is everyone back? Prasanna, are you there?
Yes, Prakash.
Okay, so Prasanna, you had one question just as security administrator, what group we should have? So that group name is ISGWF underscore WF admin. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else have some doubt before we are going
Is
to
there
start
a
with
way
the
to check the change documents, Prakash, for the user creation and group assignments?
on? Unfortunately, no, you don't have any change document.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Everyone is back, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah. So till now we have done only one thing, right? We have just created the user. Means we have assigned the group. Will it work for us? Means just creating. Means we have created IS groups and users and user data is available in our system, right? In IS. But will it is going to help us? So how it is going to help us in any applications, right? So that is the way, right? So as we are discussing about that, identity provider. So identity provider is the system who is providing the identity, and then one is normally we are saying that application which we are using, which is consuming the identity, right? That is called service provider. Any application, it can be any applications, right? So if you are providing means providing some service, right, like ISN application, SSAN applications, so those are applications which is consuming the identity from the identity provider, right? And for that, what we have to do, we have to, you can say, set up a trust configuration, right? Trust relationship between identity provider and the service provider, right? And that is a task right now we are going to do. Okay, however this task is already done because I do not want it to waste this time, but yeah, I will explain every steps how you have done it. And okay, so I will start with the means it is PPT already captured, but yeah, I will go and I think I will go in the system, so every steps what you are doing. So there are few steps, right? First step means we are exchanging the metadata. That is a one. If you are creating the trust, then we are saying that we are you can say changing the metadata. So first we are going to the sub account, the where your application is resides. Okay. So go to sub account. Right now we are already in sub account. Go to trust configurations. Okay, and then there is a two type of trust we can create. Here we are using SAML. You can also create OIDC. For OIDC you have to create established trust, but right now for today's session we have not taken established trust into our consideration. So what you have to do, you have to go and download this SAML metadata, right? Simply like this. I have already done it earlier as well, but yeah, you have to just download it. Okay. Okay, so it is showing number one because we have downloaded today. So you can just download. So this is a one step. Simply you have to take the metadata for the BTP account, right? Once you have took this means SML data, the next step is to go to the IS. IS you have to go to applications and resources. Under resources, you have to go to applications. Okay, you can find that we have already created. So what is your job now? So you have to create an applications. Okay, so it will ask some display name. So like I have given any name you can give, IEG demo 11 December, whatever the, it is not mandatory. You have to give the same like your sub account, any name, just so that by that name you can identify that your applications, right? That is the purpose of giving that name. Home URL, you have to give some home URL, right? Some basic URL means whatever, like I have given complete IAG application. It's not a mandatory, but yeah, just for identifying how you can identify. So for that purpose also it is there. Now this is parent applications. There is no any parent applications right now. Okay, so there is no any parent applications. Type is you can select even unknown. It works with unknown as well, but I have selected other SAP cloud application because it is not coming in any of these solutions, right? So either SAP Analytics solutions, Ariba solution, Business by Design, BTP solution, SAP. Even once I have thought to use SAP BTP solutions, but I thought that it may create some problem because I have till now I have created IAG integration with IS either with unknown or you can say that other SAP cloud solutions. So that's we wanted to go with that. Anyhow, if you want to just test it, you can test it. If you want to integrate your SAP BTP solutions like which you have created as a trial account, so you can just create SAP BTP solutions, right? And after that, you have to just come here and you can display name, whatever the name as we have discussed that. After, if we, once you will give the display name, right? After you can save it. Once you will save it, okay, then you have to come here, right? Once it will come like that, means bundled applications, right? And it will be things like that, okay? So what you have to do, you have to go into SAML 2.0 configuration because it is a, we have created SAML, means we have downloaded SAML metadata. However, our BTP as well as IS both supports OpenID Connect as well. So you can create OpenID Connect as well. But right now, we are using that SAML 2.0 configuration. So we have to go here, okay? And you can find that this is already filled, but the time we have created for, once you will create first, so it will be all these things will be looks blanks. I have not done anything manually, right? However, you can do if you have expertise of understanding of how URL should be written, and you can do it manually. But best practice is to use the downloaded metadata. So come here, upload those metadata, right? So whatever the metadata you have found it, so go to metadata, just select it and upload it. I will not do it, otherwise it will just override these things or may create some problem. After uploading this metadata, we have not, just you have to click on save, nothing else. Okay, so that is the most simple thing you can do it. So that is a simplest way to you can say. So now you have uploaded metadata from SAP BTP to IS, right? So one task is done. Once it is done, so this will be populated. This is how it is. So this data is getting populated. This what we are trying to do. We are just trying to, you can say, exchange the details, right? Exchange the details about URLs, about the means how one system talks with each other. So we are trying to share means details with each other system. Right now, we have shared details of BTP to IS, so that IS should know which system we are going to means you can say target or reference, right? So that is the thing. Now coming to back, so that is one important configuration. After that, there is a 2-3 configurations that I will show you. But before that, I will say you that assertion attributes. So what exactly assertion attributes? Like that, whenever we are, one system is talking with another system, so they are sending some attributes to system, right? So that system should understand those attributes, right? So for that is assertion attributes is coming to the picture. If you want to send more, it's totally fine. But these are the, you can say, mandatory types, like we are sending user first name, last name, email ID, user UID. If you want to send logo name, you can send that as well. Like if I want to send the logo name, right? So I will also update this one. So same way you have to do. By default, 3, 4 will be populated by default, like first name, last name, email ID, and user UUID. So this will come as a default. After that, I have added groups. I have added means login name. So these things you have to add it from your side, right? So if you want to add means certain attributes even can be more. If you want to send more attributes to your applications, or if you think that our application should get details about some more attributes from the IS, then you can send those attributes. Means you can find it. Only important things in case of IAG, not always. In case of IAG, remember everywhere you can find all things are small, but in groups we have maintained as a G. By default, it is also coming a small. Means groups is also coming a small, so you have to take care of that, and that is a specific. I'm trying to mention it here. So groups must be G should be capital. Okay, because groups is always coming into the capital. So you are sending the groups as well, right? So this is the purpose, and then you have to just save it. That is a SML assertion attributes, means attributes which applications will send to the you can say identity provider will send to the applications. And sometimes you think why we are doing like this, right? So here if it is a first name F capital, then at that place it is first name as a F small, and you can say here first name is having a space in between here first. So what SAML is doing, SAML is trying to talk with two systems, and even though items means attributes are same, but there some naming conventions is little different. To match both systems, we are having you can say this assertion attributes mapping, right? So that how it is available in our IS system, how it is available in IAG system. Not only for this system, assume that still both are the SAP system. In some cases, if you are integrating some application on IS and that is coming from the non-SAP applications, it may be possible that first name coming as a first name, or some that first name somewhere written as a given name, last name as a family name. So even though properties are same, they are mentioning the same thing, right? But they are coming with the different naming conventions, so that how one system will talk to each other, right? If it is a login name here L capital, and there is a space in between and then N, then how it will talk, what this login name will means we read as in our IAG, so it will read as a login underscore name, and all are in small caps, right? So that is a you can say a purpose of mapping this attributes. If you want to add attributes, there are multiple attributes are here. You can utilize those attributes. You can send attributes from here. These all attributes are coming only which is available in your IS. So same way you can add applications and then. So this is a one task you have to do. After that, you have to find that one or two configuration that I will tell you that subject name identifier, what exactly it is. So if you are saying that how our IAG application will identify us, what should be the attributes? Okay, so what means yesterday I think one of you anyone have asked me that it is a mail ID, how can I log
Yeah,
in, right?
they only asked.
Yeah, so that's I'm trying to explain. I'm again coming to there. See which attribute. This is called subject name identifier, and that is the one of the most important attribute. Right now we are just discussing about the basic configuration. Surely in future, once we will go in a little complex environment, we will show advanced configuration as well. But right now I'm trying to show you basic configuration. Means here select a basic attributes. Basic attributes is coming from the drop down, so these are the attributes you can select as a subject name identifier. Means if you are going to select user ID, so user ID is your primary identifier, right? Means whatever the user ID you are given, so that will be identified. So assume that you are coming from the that you are setting up all of your user in you can say that IS. So this user ID will work fine for you if you are setting all of your user ID in IS, right? But assume that it is not the case. Your user ID is coming from somewhere else. Your user ID is being generated in for HANA Cloud, or your user ID is generating somewhere in some other system, Azure or somewhere. In that case, it's possible that your user ID is not the main identifier, because assume that your user ID is being generated in some other identity management system, right? So what is happening, you know that in first I will show so that you will understand it better. So coming to here, what we are trying to say, user ID. So this is our user ID. So how it is getting generated, right? So user ID is getting generated as per as you are creating user here, right? So automatically we are not giving user ID here. Starting with 0, you can say it is taking number itself, increasing every time by 1, right? So it's self-generated. Even user UID is self-generated in our IS. So what I'm trying to tell you that if in any case you are using this IS as your identity provider as well as identity store, assume that all of user you want to create it directly here, right? Means every user, if it is coming into our system, then they should get created in this user ID, and this user ID should get utilized everywhere, right? Then fine, then it's very simple. But assume that in applications, you may find some applications, like I know few applications, like there is a CPQ application that don't know anything about the user ID. In that case, they only read email ID. So what you have to do? How that application will work with, right? How you can create access with that application? So that will be a challenge for you, right? So that is the reason you are saying that for every applications, once you will go to the applications, so for every applications you have to decide your subject name identifier. It is application specific. It's not like, again, that means if I have set subject name identifier user ID for the IAG, means it is user ID for all other applications. Tomorrow I am going to connect Ariba. If my Ariba is just reading mail ID, so I will just change it here. I will come and I will change it as a mail ID. Again, in some cases, you know that some login ID is being created, like using your first name, last name, or something, generic, using any properties. Some user ID is being generated. That is not part of this, right? Neither it is email, neither it is a display name, neither it is. In some cases, it may be possible that employee number. So then there is an option given that login name. So what you have to do, since your user is coming from somewhere else, okay? So once you are either exporting the users or creating, so in user management, you can see that login name, you have to provide that name, whatever the name you are giving, means whatever the, you can say, login name you are using, like Deepak, you can explain, right? Means in your case, as for HANA system we are using, and some others naming conventions, right? Assume that we are having a naming convention that, okay, first 3 letter will be used from the last name, and then after 3 letter will be used for the first name. So it will become like Sapra, right? So Sapra will be the login name for me. So that you can update it here, right? So that you can do, means you can manually, as well as that you can using the import users and export users option as well. So that is a property. So if you think that login name is important for your applications, then again you have to come here in applications, and here as a subject name identifier, you have to give your login name. Means you have to select and give you login name. Right now, we are not using any other place from where our user ID is generating, but we are creating all of our user in IS in this environment, in our training environment. So that's why I have selected user ID as our, means you can say, basic attributes for subject name identifier. If in any case you think that, okay, user, however, in our case, it will not be a case, right? You know that, because we are creating here, so user ID is getting generated. So it is, means it's a mandatory attributes available for the our case. But assume that you are giving login name. It may be possible that you have not maintained login name for some user. So you can give some other ID, user EU ID as your fallback attributes. So what is fallback attributes? It means if this attribute is not available in any case, then this attributes will be checked, or this attributes will be done, right? So this is the fallback attributes. It will work again same, but always it will check first. If it is already passed, means it is true, then it will not come to this, okay? So that's why I will tell you that, okay? So I am doing it here as a user ID, because in my case, I think that my user ID is sufficient to do my job in IEG. So I'm keeping it here, user ID. Is it clear? Subject name identifier. Means if
Please, I've got a question. Just to take us a bit back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. When we started this trust configuration. You took us to SAP BTP cockpit, and you went to sub-account trust configuration. The next I saw was the identity authentication service page. So I'm not sure what was the relationship. What did we do in the sub-account trust configuration page before we came here?
Okay, you want me to repeat the things? Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
I lost
no
you a
problem.
long time ago, but I just didn't want to stop the class.
No, I have not stopped the recording, I feel. But yeah, just let me explain it quickly. It will not take more time. See, we are trying to create trust configuration between our BTP cockpit as well as IS, right? So IS and BTP cockpit should get a trust relationship between them. So for first step, what we are doing, we are coming here and downloading SML data. Clear? So we have downloaded SML data. You remember? So just you have to click on SML data. A file will be downloaded. Like you can see here, SML IAG training.xml file. So a file will be downloaded for you. Clear?
That's under trust configuration.
Yeah, it is on the BTP cockpit. Then you have to go to your sub account. Then you have to go to trust configuration, and in trust configuration you will find this page. Okay, here you will find SML data and download button. So just once you will click on this SML data, so it will XML file will be downloaded for you. Clear?
Does everybody
you can
have
try
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
No,
try.
we are not able to see the download option. Right?
Because I don't have the download option. That's what I'm saying. I don't have that established trust, new trust configuration, SML metadata.
Same here.
It is, you are saying in BTP trial account, am I correct?
No,
in
I'm
IAG
not in the
sub
trial
account
account.
itself. So we are not able to see these options.
We will not be having those.
Okay, yeah, means
Those in sub account what we had in our.
just let me clarify. This is a one-time job, and means because identity provider is not being set every day, so it is a one-time job, and I am trying to do it on your behalf. So that's why I think access is not being provided to you. But if you want to do same thing, please go to your trial account. Okay, log into your trial account. You will find this option.
Okay.
So you can, yeah, you can do your work. Means you can understand the things, right? Because
okay,
you
no
have
problem. Let's
complete
just
global.
go through it so I can understand it later. We can do the trial account stuff. Yeah. So
Exactly.
once it's downloaded, then we go back to the.
Yeah, exactly. Once you will download it, just download it here. Okay. After that, downloading it, you have to go to IS console. Just in BTP, you have just to download the SML data. Come here in applications. Okay. In applications, click on create applications, right? Give the display name, like I have given IAG demo 11th December. So same way you give some name like you have created. So try it for your BTP trial account, not now after the session, but try it for adding it. You have access for IS, right? So try it adding. And then give some details like SAP BTP trial account. You can give some your user ID or something, or name something like you are creating for, just to identify that you have created this. Okay. And then you have to give URL of BTP you can give, and type you can keep here like that SAP BTP solutions, right? SAP BTP solutions if you are just targeting BTP, or if you don't want to just leave it as unknown, that's also fine. If you are leaving it unknown, that's also fine. And once you will do it, once you will just only give test, so you can save it, right? Nothing, even remaining things are not required. But yeah, just give something so that you can identify that this application is being created by yourself. Okay. So we have created applications. After creating these applications, I was explaining few steps, right? So now I will tell you that. So means we have just downloaded a file. Clear? That XML file. Clear, Didi? Are you here? Right?
Yes.
So so what you have to do, you have to come here. Where you have to come? You have to, once you have created that application, come into that applications, right? In that applications, you will find this options. Under trust, you will find protocol SML 2.0 configuration. Come to this configurations. However, I have already done it, but I'm explaining that. Don't worry, everything is like same. come and upload this file. Just go and browse file, and wherever you have saved your file, just means go to file and just select and upload it. Fine. Nothing more you have to do. Once you have done it, just save it. Once you will do it, then this save option will be enabled, and you have to just click on save. Nothing extra step you have to do. That's only. Is it clear?
Yes, please.
So now what the file you have downloaded from the SAP BTP sub account, you have uploaded it in IS. Okay. So one side trust is created, but after that I was planning few more settings in this you can say demo account. So what was the other setting, like subject name identifier? How your system will identify, how your system will identify, and which will be your if you have means heard about, or if you have gone through some concept of primary key, right? So primary key is your main identifier. So same way here, what is your primary key? Means which value should be identified, how I means how a system will identify you, right? So that is your primary key, and here whatever you want to give, you can give it. So what is the your main consideration? It is user ID, user UID, email, display name. It all depends on the system, right? Sometimes system just read the email ID. Means if you will go to some, you can say cloud applications, they are not reading, they are not having any user ID, so they are just having email ID. So in that case, you have to select email, right? So same way, somewhere it is like that employee number, some can be, somewhere can be to different type. So that I was explaining means before you have asked me to repeat, right? So A, you can say subject name identifier, that is very clear by the naming convention. So this is the attribute which provides you to that how can a service provider can identify that, means what data is coming for which user, right? For which user we are going to authenticate. So that's work with the user ID. Okay, so this is the your primary identifier. Okay, if you want to set some fallback attributes, you can set it. Again, you can set it like, okay, if in any case user ID is not available, then it should check some other thing, email ID or some login name type of thing. So you can set a second attributes, right? So assume that you are going to log in, right? You are going to log in and you have given your user ID and password, correct?
Yeah, it's fine.
User ID password is available, understood? So it will authenticated you. But assume that some point of time you went that, okay, I'm going for the mail ID, right? Mail ID, and then you are giving the password. So it may be possible that if you have not set the attributes, means you can, I have not set the fallback attributes as email ID, so it may not read that with this email ID, or you may not able to log in with that, right? So that is a problem. So that you can see that. So if it is even attribute is being set, so it is going to read you. Okay, so that is the things. So main that user ID is your main attributes. Okay, so that you need to understand that which in which type of application, which is your primary you can say user ID, right? If you will go to some S4 HANA system, so it may be possible that you are using some sort, means first name, last name, combination of first name, last name as your user ID, right? But that user ID is not available here, correct? How can you log into S4 HANA system using this authentications? So then in that case, you have to maintain this login name. You have to populate this login name, right? And in this place, in applications for, not for IAG, if you are adding applications for, assume that S4 HANA or S4 HANA Cloud, in that case, at the place of subject name identifier, in place of user ID, you have to select the login name. Okay. So based on the application, it is always your judgment how you have to work with. It is not a fixed thing like user ID is selected for the case of IAG. So for all the application, you have to select user ID. No, which type of application you are integrating with your IS, accordingly. Some applications are only reading email ID. Some applications are reading some different user ID. So accordingly, you have to select these attributes. Am I clear?
Yes, but one quick question. For each SAP Cloud solution, there's a separate identity authentication service server?
No, it's not required. If you are having, you will have only one IS system for all of your SAP cloud applications. So assume that
Okay,
you
so
have got
what if you have different nomenclature? Say if you are deploying Ariba and you're also doing IAG and the
no,
naming
I am
convention.
saying that you have created one applications here, right? Correct.
Mhm.
Tomorrow you want to integrate Ariba also, so you have to come here and add Ariba also, right? Then all the setting will be done for the Ariba. Understood?
Okay. Okay.
Means I want to authentic. Right now I want to authenticate only IAG system, so I have added IAG system. Tomorrow you want to authenticate your BTP trial system as well, right? So you have to come and create one application here for BTP and then add it. So for your BTP you may change something, right? You have to change something. So your all this configuration will be changed. It's not like the same. It may be changed, means you can use the same configuration as well, but yeah, you can change means you can decide your configuration for your
independent.
SAP build. Exactly.
Okay.
So this all configuration is only for this IAG system. Tomorrow, if you want to integrate some more system on that, so you have to come and integrate system here, and all this configuration have to you have to reconfigure everything. It's not like that. Whatever I have done for IAG, so automatically it will apply for every system. It's not like that. It is application specific, right?
Yeah. Thank
Clear?
you.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
very
we have
clear.
done
Yes.
assertion at assertion at bits we have explained. So after that, once you have done it, then there is a next step. Right now we have done burn bay of settings, right? Burn bay means we have downloaded metadata from the SAP BTP and uploaded in IS. Now we have to do the same task in a reverse way, right? Now you have to go to tenant setting, okay? From tenant setting, you will find SAML 20 configuration. So you have to download metadata from here. Okay. So you have to download metadata here. Got it? So you have to download metadata here. And then once you will download this metadata, so what will happen? Now you have to use this metadata and again you have to go. Remember that what I am doing. Now I am doing the reverse configuration, right? I am downloading this metadata file from here and now I am going to upload here and going to create a new trust configuration. Got it? So you have to click on new trust configuration. You have to select this file, okay? And then you have to go to download. I will not do final, but just I am trying to showing purpose. So you can see that this metadata is uploaded, right? Understood. So in this way, everything will get uploaded, and then you have to give name, descriptions, and what should be the link text for user logon. These three things you have to give only. Name means whatever the name you are giving for your identity provider. Descriptions, again, what description you want to display, and then link text. This is just if you are going to log in with IAG, so it will show that okay, which means applications. So accordingly, whatever value you will give, that will be done. Since I have already done it, and that's why it is origin key is showing the same, and it's showing the red value. Means that this configuration, trust configuration with this origin key already exists because I have already done it. Okay, so I can't create a same you can say configuration again. So after that, once you will save it, you will find this value. Got it? For here, I will show few more things like that. Available for user logon means if you are trying to go that is it available for user logon, even though you have created the trust, and if you marking unchecked, then it will not be available for user logon, right? Again, if you going to show more details, right? And then if you are going for available for user logon, create
Sorry,
shadow.
What's that origin key?
Origin key is nothing but you can say that it is being generated from your from where it is generated. What is the origin of your identity? That is the thing. Normally I is right. So that is showing to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something, please. That metadata that you downloaded, can you this last one, can you show me where you click to make the download?
You want to see the metadata?
Yes, from the tenant settings.
Okay, from where I have done that, you want to show, right?
Yes, from where you click to get.
You have to go here, and there is a download metadata file here on top.
Okay.
In tenant setting, I will show it again.
Yeah.
You have to go to tenant setting. Under tenant setting, you have to go SAML 2.0 configuration. Got it? In SAML 2.0 configuration, you have to go on top and just click on download metadata file. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once it is downloaded, you have to go and you have to upload that metadata in new trust configurations. Okay. Here you have to upload that. Once you will upload it will populate it. Everything get populated. However, I can't do it because as I have explained that everything what uploaded. Only thing, three things you have to give: name, descriptions, and origin key also populated itself. Link text for user. But mandatory thing is only name. Means only you have to name give. Otherwise, everything already given there. So in that way, once you have done this step, means trust configuration between your system is created. Means your job have been done. Okay. Understood?
Yes.
Now I will show you few things, and it is just for testing purpose. See, right now there are users, right? So you can find that all the users are coming with the username as mail ID. Correct? Okay. So I will tell you that who is able to log in into IS. I think most of you, because all of you have already created some groups, right? So all of you are able to log in into IS. Am I correct? Correct or
Yeah, I
not?
believe so.
Exactly. So what I will ask you, go to IAG application. Okay. Go to IAG applications. Here IAG applications links are there. Okay. So cloud identity access. Go to applications. See, if you will go to applications, you will get things like that. Okay. Don't select default identity provider. Select custom identity provider. Understood? What you have to select? Custom identity provider. Okay. I know that reason, so don't worry. Okay, I will, because it is already I have logged in with some. So go to if you are already logged in with some IS or something, so better to go to cognito mode or private window, so that cookies should, means you can say, should not trouble you. Okay, go to this one, and then I have IAG applications. Okay, so this is the placeholder. Once you will go, it will ask for custom identity provider. Okay.
Error. I have the same error as you.
Even you see the same error?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone's saying the same error, right? Have I made any changes in our trust configuration? Our trust configuration is same. All of you are facing the same issue?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have not made any changes, right? User ID, that's fine.
Can that be email ID? No.
No. Email ID should not be there.
Mm-hmm.
Assets and attributes. Just let me delete this. It should not create any problem, but just I avoided it.
It is not having user ID.
It is not having user ID? Okay. Let me add user ID. Yeah. Identity provider could not process the authentication request received. Could not process.
Prakash, is there anyone has been updated on metadata so that
I feel so. Okay, so we have less time, but yeah, we have to at least redo it. Okay, guys, please, one request: don't do anything with the metadata, otherwise it will create problem. I am trying to do it again, and okay, I think someone has done something wrong. Let me undo it again. Okay, so it will be quickly done, not a problem. I will take 10-minute time. I'm sharing still my screen, right?
yes.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do it, I will just delete it. Okay, so that this is deleted. Okay, fine. Please don't create as of now, and at least don't touch the IEG which I am creating, and that is the reason sometimes access is being restricted. Otherwise, it will create a problem. Okay, so let me delete all this. Okay, so anyhow, in that way you can learn in live, but yeah, one topic will be left, then I will follow in that next topics because I wanted to complete that as well. So simple step, go to SML data. Okay, it is downloaded, fine. Now you have to go to admin console. Admin console, create it. I'm giving I as a demo. If I want to copy some link, that's fine, but even without link it's fine. Application. If I will ask, you can say new applications, then you can say it will not ask now for the custom identity provider or anything else. Directly it logging me. Okay. So you have to come here and then to SAP. Anyhow, I'm just taking other SAP applications. Parent application is none. So this is the setting. You have to just make a save. So everyone is looking into right how I'm doing because I have done it earlier,
Yeah.
but not a problem. Yeah, so in IAG demo, you will find all these things again. Okay, if you want to delete still means right application type something, you can come and edit it. But if you want to do all these things below, so you can see SML 2.0 configuration is not configured. We have IAG training here, metadata already. Okay, so come here, simply you can find all are blank, nothing is here, right? These things are blank. This is identity provider certificate, so this is not related, but anyhow this applications all things configure manually. You can add all signing certificate, sign logouts, endpoint, everything is blank. Sorry, so you have to go here, select this one, like this all are same, so you can just select this one, open it. Okay, so now you can see everything is populated, right? Just you have selected this one and all things are automatically populated it. Okay, now save it. So your metadata is uploaded into. After doing that, you have to go for subject name identifier. I'm not going to make any changes because I have to keep user ID as my subject name subject name identifier. After that, I have to go for assertion attributes. Most of the things are here. First name, last name, email, user ID. I have to add groups. Okay.
So you have
Groups,
to
you
add
can
user
find
ID also.
groups. I have to add groups. I have to add user ID. User ID is fine. Groups is added. First name, last name, email ID. I will also add it just for safe purpose login name. because it should not create any problem. So you can just means if you want, you can see that few things are coming as a default. These things are coming as a default. Few things we have added. If you want that this is mandate, this is required for your applications, you can add it. So that is the one thing. So after that, just save assertion attributes. So we have saved these attributes, and then assertion attributes fine. We have done subject name identifier. Conditional authentication is nothing but it will ask user ID and password, and it will check from the identity authentications, right? That is your default identity provider, means the user management or identity provider from the this identity authentication systems. So that's only after doing all these things, our setting have been completed on the IS side. Okay, so now you have it has been completed. Okay, after that you have to go to tenant setting. You can find all these things are here, right? So you have to go to SAML configuration. Here you have to check that everything is fine. This number is active. Okay, signing certificates are active. Just to go and download metadata file. Okay, it is metadata file. Now your job is to go to again SAP BTP account. Here you have only one. There is no trust. So yeah, sorry, only one identity means identity provided, that is your default one. So now I want to add one more trust configuration, right? So click on new, upload it. Okay, I will upload the same which is I downloaded earlier. So metadata, just you can see everything is getting populated here. Okay, except the three things, and that is a standard. Except the three things, everything is getting populated. So now it should be your name. So name I will give. What's the name we want to give? Anyone can suggest. Just for the domain name, because this is the I am writing custom provider, and then a link test means whatever you will write here, so it will come on the pop-up window, right? When you are going to log in, so custom identity provider or whatever the things. So if you want to, what name you want to put it, you can put it here. Okay, so custom identity provider I'm writing. If you want to write identity provider, if you want to test that, okay, so you can write some other names as well. But you can change this all things later whenever you want. So these three things can be changed. Status is active, available for user logon. So these things are fine. Now you have to just save the data. So trust configuration has been created, right? Please don't make any changes right now, otherwise it will create problem. Okay. Now I will go to the some new. Okay. And I will go to new incognito window. This is, it should ask now both custom identity provider. See, few minutes back it was not asking. I directly logged in. Now you have to click on custom identity provider. I have to provide my user mail ID and then login ID. Remembering mail IDs. Go to here. And one more thing I want to show you. If you will just, I will refresh page. So let me. You can find that only one mail ID, only one you can say user ID for me, and that is coming from the default identity provider. Okay, so I will show this same thing. Yeah. Now you can find that I am able to log in IAC. Don't worry, I am not having anything. No access is provided to me. Okay, so if you are coming here, so you can see that I am not having any access. But yeah, from where my user ID is coming. how can you understand that from where my user ID is coming, right? So this is the things, right? So it is showing my name, not more you can say, but I don't have any access, right? Administrator, API test app. Okay, no problem. Anyhow, so this is the placeholder, means right now I'm able to log in via identity provider. Till now, when I was logging into IAG application, I was logging with the default identity provider, right? But now I'm logging with my own identity provider. And here, whatever user ID we will save, they can directly come and log in here, right? Now coming to the, I don't know where I have to go. Okay, coming to here, again, I will refresh the page. Can you find it? One more user ID is added for myself because my mail ID, email ID, but username get changed. Understood? Now it is coming with P000 and that is coming for my admin console. You can find it. My user ID is here. Why? My subject name identifier is P00000, right? So that's why whenever I have logged in IAG applications, so automatically it created a shadow user. And if you will go to my shadow user, it having no role collection assigned to this user, right? Since there is no role collection assigned to my user, I'm not able to see anything. Clear? But if you will go to my this user ID, I having multiple access, not only one. There are almost all accesses assigned to me. And so if I'm going to logging via this user ID, means via default identity provider, then I'm having all the access. You may ask that, can I do that? So I will show it again here. Okay. So incognito window, I had this is already open here. Okay. And in this window, I will try to open this Cloud Identity Access Governance application with go to applications, and you can see that. But unfortunately, it's opening directly. So it means it's just remembering my cookies. So let me open some new window. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God, it's remembering this one. New cognito window. Can I use some Edge or something? Yeah, now it's asking. So I will go for default identity provider. Again, I will use my mail ID. Sorry. And now you can find it, right? I am having all the access, but via default identity provider. You will not find much difference because same name is maintained both the places. But yeah, you can find the differences here, right? So you can find that I have all the access here, but if you'll go to my this account, I'm not having any access here. Okay. Is it clear? And think in that way, even my mistake, But I do not want to take, sometimes what is happening, some problems happens and I do not want to go online in class, but yeah, anyhow, even by mistake, some things happens in our identity means trust connections, and now we are able to do it live. So is it clear to everyone how we can create trust connection, how we can utilize it, right? So now this trust connection is there, and one request I will have, please don't do anything with a trust connection that is being used for IAG. Okay, here are these applications. IAG, if you want to create, please create you, and with your, please write your name as well, like SAP BTP, and then in last you give your name, so that if you are facing any issue, you can tell me and I can check in your configurations, right? That will be easy for me, and also you can work on your, like if you have written SAP BTP and tomorrow you are going to change for someone else, right? So better to have write your name so that you can identify that on this you can say applications I am working, right? So that will help you as well. So because we have to do a lot of things in future as well, so please whenever you are creating, please give some suffixes with your applications, and means really means a real request that, but please don't do anything with the IAG demo. Okay.
And Prakash,
Prakash,
once.
Yeah, please.
yeah, I have
I
one
got
question.
confused.
What I wanted to ask is like, right now you downloaded one SAML file, right?
Yeah.
So, is it that for one configuration, one file will be used? Because right now, if we go there, only one SAML file is there, and
Mhm.
so is it that means we need to configure something else, and then that particular file need to be used in another configuration? Is it that way, or one SAML can be configured in any of the configurations that we create? Like for example, IAG demo or some BTP or any other. So one file
No.
can be used.
See,
Okay.
what SML means, SML data giving to you, like that is having a specific information about your tenant. Understood? Like that, you have one BTP tenant, I'm also having one BTP tenant, right? So your BTP tenant have some different URLs, some different you can say IDs or something generated for that, right? My BTP tenant have some different ID generated for my BTP, right? So if I want to connect and you also want to connect, so your SML will be different, my SML will be different. Clear?
Okay.
Same case, even though you have 10 BTP account, like we have 8 or 10 users here. So 10 BTP trial account at least we have created here, right? So all 10 BTP account will have the separate different SML. Same.
Okay.
So all the applications or sub accounts have the different, you can say, metadata. It's not the same metadata. So if you are going to integrate with the IS, so those will be different, right? Metadata will not be same. But my IAG metadata means what I'm trying to tell you that metadata for this sub account will always the same. Even though I will download 10 times, metadata will be same. Clear? I'm trying to
Okay.
make the differences. If it is there two sub account, then metadata will be different. But if I'm going to download metadata for this account for 2 days and after 1 month, it will be same.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
because on that same screen there is only
yeah.
one tab, right, for SAML to download. So I
Yeah.
thought, is it only this one option where we can download the metadata and use it in the configuration, or other?
Yeah, this is the no, this is the
Okay.
one place only. From here, in trust configuration only you can download the SAP ML data. I'm saying about the SAP BTP.
Okay.
Surely different application have the different placeholder, but for BTP you have to come into the security, then trust configuration, then you have to download the SML metadata. That is the only place.
Okay.
And next we have one more sub account. So when we go into that sub account, then that sub account trust configuration, roles, new version, all the tabs will come, right? And
Little
that
voice is not clear.
Your
okay,
voice is not clear, Ankit.
I have two sub accounts. Okay, one sub account I have this IAG tenant, and different sub account I have different IAG tenant, and there also
Yeah.
will have same view, but the metadata will different, correct?
Exactly. If your sub account is getting changed, automatically your metadata will get changed.
And normally, do we allow the creation of shadow users, Prakash, when in real time? Do we have that option enabled, or we will be disabling the shadow users?
You must enable it. Otherwise, you will not able to log in.
Okay, even though we are using a corporate IDP, we have to enable shadow users.
Exactly, because means that user is providing authorization to you user ID. Authentication is being done via, you can say that your corporate IDP, but authorization is being provided in BTP, right? Because role need to be assigned in BTP.
Okay.
So even though you will get authenticated, you will not have access. As now you have seen that, right? I'm not having any access. Means even though my user is there, but I'm not having any access. Because once I will give access to my shadow user, then I can log in, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's in AIG, right?
IAG, yeah. That's true with
Yeah, because
any application. That's true with
mine is
any
Mint.
application. Yeah. Okay. I don't have much time, but just I'm trying to, you can say, do one more thing that is done, and remaining thing will be left for the next session. Okay. So what is our next job? Once you have set up the trust connections. So now, and you have created the user groups in IIS, right? And those user groups, how IIS will read that those user groups can be read in our, you can say IAG. For that purpose, we are having a special job that is called SCI user group job. So that job we are trying to configure it, right? For that, there is a, you can say, two steps prerequisites what you are trying to do. So that is a very simple things. I will try to do it right now, but it may take a few more minutes of time. So I hope it should be fine for all of you, right?
Let's do it next time. Nice. Like 3 hours.
You want to
I
do
don't
it
know how
next
long.
session?
I should think so, but except I don't know what others think.
Yeah, I'm fine with everyone. I mean, everything, whatever you think, because means topics that may take 15 to 20 minutes that is left, and I'm not in hurry. I want to explain everything in detail, so I'm not in hurry that I have to complete it today. It's not like that. Just I can complete it in next session as well.
Yeah, let's do it when our brain is fresh.
Yeah, sure, not a problem. Anyone else have some different view? If not, then I think if you have any doubt, please go ahead, because then I will close this session here only. Okay. After clearing all of your doubts, and then we will meet together on the next Saturday, I think, because that is 24th. And on that day, after completing this few minutes, then we will go ahead for the IPS. Anyhow, IPS is you can say little smaller topic for the, you can say, IEC perspective. However, it is being used, but yeah, that can be covered in one session. It's not a big problem.
Can you go to your IAG page now?
So I am here.
Yeah, you see, after what you've done, mine is like blank. I can't even see anything.
You have logged in with which user ID? Means you have logged in with the custom identity provider.
Yes, custom identity provider.
Yeah, then it will be blank. As I have told, even for my IEG, if I am logging with the custom identity provider, I don't know where it is. It is already closed or not. Let me open it again. Yeah, no problem. I can open it again. Okay, so I'm going to custom identity provider. Okay, and then I'm going to, I don't know if So you can say it's blank for me as well, right?
Okay. Now, what
Yeah.
was the difference between this custom identity provider and the default?
There is no difference. As I have told that there is two identity provider now. So I can see that now there is a two identity provider, right? So which identity provider is having the access? Means you are having two user ID now. One is your mail ID and another one is you can say P user ID, right? So if I will try to search P000 yeah, and find whoever logged in. Okay, why it is not showing? I have given anything wrong. It is there, right? Why it is not search? So that is means you are coming. Assume that you are a person, right? But you are getting authenticated from two places, right? So from which place you are getting authenticated, that related to that user ID should have the access, right? And that's I wanted to explain. See, this all users P00027. So which number is yours? You remember?
Sorry, mine?
Yeah, your numbers. Just I wanted to know. Prasanna, Ravi, Janvi,
Yeah,
Prakash.
16.
This one, 16, right? This one, right?
Right, so
Yeah. So if I will go to
that's mine.
that's
Looks like
it,
I have
right?
to.
So you don't have any role collection. Now I'm giving just for testing purpose one role collection to you. Okay, like I'm giving you to access request. Okay, and then access request admin and then access request others. Now, sorry, what happens? Now refresh your page.
Looks like I'm seeing two.
Yeah.
I'm seeing two stuff for me. Two P accounts for me.
Two P accounts.
Yeah.
No.
I see 16. Then if you go up, I see another one. Yes.
This one.
Yes.
This is not the P account. This is your mail account, right? This is coming from default identity provider. So here you have the access, right? Here you have the access. That's why you have. Now you also have the access for the another account. Means for P0016, right? So now I have provided. So refresh your page and you should have some page few tiles displayed to you. Not all, but few pages. Few tiles should be available for you.
I'm signing again.
Prakash, what is the difference between custom access and default access? So
yeah, I think today that was the topics I was trying to explain. Custom, when you are saying the default identity provider, so all of those user ID must be available in SAP database or SAP identity store, right?
Could you share that slide you right? Could you share that slide which you prepared in beginning this one, right? So authentication service you were doing or directly you were doing? Will maybe clarify. Slide you first initially you presented slide, right? Which was
Yeah.
Yeah, I confirm I have the accesses now. It's now populated.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you that if you are using default identity provider, means in that case, all of your user ID need to register with the SAP ID service. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
But if you are trying to use, but why everyone user, all of your organizational users should go and register for the SAP ID service? That is an add-on task, right? So that's why we are adding custom identity provider. And for that, if we are already having some user database in our somewhere in our landscape for our organization, because every organization anyhow manage their user, right? It's not like that if we are going to use IS, then only we are started managing users. We are managing our users since long. So we must have some identity, means a store or some user store in our environment. So why should every user should go to create means SAP ID service, right? So that is the reason. If you are having your identity provider or if you are having your user store, so you can use custom identity provider using the identity authentications, and same you can get authenticated, and you have no need for logging. Just update those user details in your IS, or in proxy bay it is also not required. So since you have some, so we can create a proxy and that can be configured. That is a really totally IS topic that we have not covered here. Okay, creating and migrating data from the corporate identity provider. So that is not part of this training. Okay, but I have shown you that in identity authentication you can create all those, set up all those users, and you can utilize them as a you can say identity provider. So you have no need to create and register all the users on the, you can say, SAP IDs, right?
Right. Got it.
Is it? Yeah, that is so. That is the only difference. Means one is default one, that SAP ID service is required, and one is the custom one.
And when we can provide the access to email account and shadow resource, both we need to provide the access, right?
It's not required to provide access to both. Okay.
Okay.
Just
Now,
since we have started,
yes.
yeah, means
Yes.
yeah, I let me explain first. So
Okay.
as we have started with this, so means like that we have created, as per the normal design, what is happening, email ID access should be only provided to few users who are the admin, who are the global admin, who are the sub account admin. It is not required to everyone, right? After
Yeah.
that, all the users would come from the custom identity provider, right? So assume that tomorrow if I have to onboard some user, so I will not create the mail ID, right? Just I will create a user ID in authentication service, means IS, and they can log in. It's not mandatory to have the, but since we have created just for the logging of your purpose, because we are setting up everything in trainings only, right? In training, during the training we are setting. So we have not completed our setup, all setup. So that's why for your knowledge purpose, we have set up your user ID directly into the BTP. Understood? And that's why your mail ID has been used. But it's not mandatory to use mail ID always. How our design is that, it depends on that.
Understood.
If any other doubt, please let me know. Or Rajesh, Preeti, Janvi, I feel all of you are little silent. Even Manju.
No, this is fine. I had one question. Since you created two accounts, right? One was your email address and other was the PID. So because your name had two different accounts, so while authenticating, it showed you two different options. One is default identity and the one is what was the second option? So because of that, it was showing two options, or is it that every user, even if they have one P user, still it will show that two options, default identity provider and the other one?
No, it will show two options to everyone, because till the time you are going to authentication, they don't know your user ID is available or not. Okay. So it is just asking that via which authentications you are trying to go. Means assume that it is also a example of multiple identity provider. Means you can have more than one identity provider, right? So assume that your user ID is maintained in some other database and some your colleagues user ID is maintained in some other database. Just for example, I'm trying to tell you two different identity providers. You know that my user ID is maintained that means assume that database Z1 and some your colleague is in Z2. So an option is given Z1, Z2. So which one you will select? Surely you will select Z1, right? If you will select Z2, then it will not authenticate you, right? Same way, if your colleague will select Z1, then it will not authenticate her, right? So that is a way. So that's only you are knowing that right now it's true because we are having only 10 users, so and 10 all 10 are maintained in both places, right? Means in default as
Yes.
well as in custom as well. But in normal cases, it's not the case. Normal cases, it may be possible that you are coming from some different identity provider and some other users are coming from different identity provider. I'm giving some real time example. There are two company getting merged, right? And both are having their own identity provider, right? So
Okay.
when they are getting authenticated, so their database are different, right? And they are getting authenticated even though they are part of one company, but their database are different. So they are getting authenticated by two different sources, right? So this type of real-time example is always available, right? Every day companies are merging, demerging type of things, right?
Okay. Understood.
And Prakash, if I would not have added these guys in BTP initially, and would have
Yeah.
directly just added identity authentication service, then also they will put only one option, right? Then in that case.
Even though you have not added in BTP, that user screen you will get always two options. How many identity provider is there? Assume that this is the identity provider sections, right? So this is two identity provider and both are available for logon. What is written? This is also available for logon. This is also available for logon. So whenever you are going to log in, even though your user ID is only available in this, you will see both of them. Even though your user ID is only available in this, you will see both of them. It doesn't matter that where your user ID is available. Even though you are creating one more identity provider, so you will see all three. Is your question clarified or you want to ask for something else? Any other doubts, please?
So Prakash, always BTP metadata is one. Whatever we have the other cloud tenants, their metadata will difference, right?
Metadata, as I have told, not only for BTP, even for BTP, you have two sub accounts, so it will be different, right?
Oh,
Not only,
okay.
yeah, it's not like that two BTP have the same metadata.
Okay.
So you have two sub accounts, so it will have the two different metadata. Metadata assume that you are a one person. I am a one person, right? So
Yeah,
my
I'm sure.
identity and your identity, right? So your name is different, your mail ID is different, my name is different, my mail ID is my first name is different. Same base system have some account and we are trying to connect with them, right? So that is metadata. Nothing with that means all details about that system. So their sub account is different, their application may be different, their something else may be different, their even region can be different, right? So that's why metadata is being a collection of all their data, nothing else.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And does IAG support only SAML to enable the Prakash, or we can use other things also like
No, you
SPDY or
can
extra
means first of all, I will say that till now I'm not saying anything about the IAG. IAG and application above on BTP, right? We are integrating all things with the BTP. Clear?
Okay.
Right? So BTP is supporting both the things, OpenID Connect as well as SAML. You can see in my screen, right? So only two type of protocols, OpenID Connect and SAML.
Okay.
Do we have some more? If not, then Ankit, can we close for the today's session?
Yeah, we can go for today's session. And I would request everyone, I have given one link in the chat. Please do provide your feedback. I would request you to, if you can give it right away, get this has just 2 to 5 minutes, we just need to finish. That's it. So if you please can provide, that will be a great help. to understand your views and this model will come to you.
Ankit, it is saying that you need permission.
You need permission. It's not opening. This form can only be viewed by users in the organizations. Yeah, contact the owner of the form. The form is not good.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, you guys can please copy this link, okay, and have it with you. I wonder, why is
Fine, guys. If there is no question, we can close for today's session, and Ankit will provide you the feedback. Thanks, everyone.
I will
Thanks
send it
all.
on email. You guys can do it.
All right, bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you all.